Hey guys, it's Callum from Gamer Guide once again, and today I want to talk a little bit about the judicial system. Hot button topic, I know, but let me explain a little bit. So, you've seen Orange is the New Black, right? You've seen that there could be a little bit of potential trouble when it comes to running a prison, and you must have thought to yourself, I could definitely do a better job when it comes to running a prison when compared to those guys. Well, what if I told you there was an option where you could do that in a virtual format and you could run your own prison however you like? There is a game out there and it's called Prison Architect. Prison Architect is a game where you literally get to build your own prison from the ground up. You get to choose the layout, you get to choose absolutely everything about that, and then you get to be the warden and run that prison as you see fit. So you get to basically decide meal times, control the way that the prison is ran, you get to choose your own staff, you get to run every single aspect of that prison. And the main goal is essentially to keep your prisoners happy, to keep your staff happy, to keep everything in terms of finance good to go so that you're making money so that you can run the place. And ultimately, you want to make sure that you're avoiding prison riots, because that is going to basically ensure that you're going to get the sack, and we don't want that. But you may be wondering, after playing Prison Architect and you've really enjoyed it, are there any other games out there that offer the same kind of gameplay format and allow me to play God in a lot of ways and run things in the same way that you would do in Prison Architect? Well, there are a lot of games out there, and I am going to show you 3 games that I think are the best picks for someone that really enjoyed Prison Architect and want more of the same. So check these out. Okay, so let's kick things off with number 1, and it's probably going to be the most obvious choice of the 3. It's The Sims series. So when it comes to The Sims, it's probably the oldest game within the simulation format, offers players the chance to just play through modern life and just live a second life, so to speak, away from the one that you have within reality. You can play God, you can play it realistically, and you can just have a job, have your kids, design your house, or you can be much more lavish. You can play it like a sandbox, and you can torture your neighbors, and you can take the ladder away in the pool and keep them trapped in there forever. There's so many options that you can do within The Sims. But it's very, very similar to the likes of Prison Architect, because you are the boss when it comes to these Sims lives. You get to run their day-to-day, you get to choose their career path, you get to organize and design their house, you get to choose the amenities within the house, you get to be the boss of their free time, you get to choose who goes into a relationship with who, and there's so many things you have control of within The Sims. Prison Architect is one and the same. It is very niche in the sense that you will be running a prison, as opposed to modern life, which has so many trials and tribulations that it is much more broad. But when it comes to Prison Architect, you have full control of the prison and how you control the prisoners within, your staff. You get to design the thing from the ground up. So in the interior design sense, there's some similarities between The Sims. It's not as much on the decoration side as it is the functionality side of things, but there are so many similarities between these two games. So if you really love Prison Architect and you love the control that you had when playing this game, then The Sims is definitely one you have to check out. Then in at number 2, we have the game that is pretty much the antithesis to what Prison Architect is, but if you loved Prison Architect, you will absolutely love this game, and that game is The Escapists. So what The Escapists is, in a nutshell, is a game that puts you on the other side of the bars. You are a prisoner within a variety of different prisons. It's essentially like a puzzle game where you're put into different scenarios with different guards, different prisoners, a different environment and different routines, and what you have to do is be on the other side of the fence and work out how to escape from the prison rather than how to run the prison and how to keep people happy. You'll have to follow your daily routines, you'll have to do exercise, you'll have to adhere to meal times, you'll have to try and build up your character in terms of making them stronger through exercise or making them more smart through book learning or whatever it happens to be, and you can build up these strategies so that you can then break out of prison in the most effective and quick way possible. Ultimately, the end goal is to get out of there as quick as you possibly can, and in some ways do it in the most creative way possible as well. These are effectively puzzle games with set solutions, but they are quite broad in the way that you can approach them. They're almost sandbox-like in how you get to the end goal. With Prison Architect, it is very much the same. You are completely in control, and there's so many ways that you can achieve success. It's just a different perspective on the same kind of game. You're no longer the warden, you're the prisoner, and you're trying to basically do everything that you would try not to do in Prison Architect. It's a really fun series of games, well, there's a lot of DLC expansion, which is why I say series of games. It's not actually a series of games, it's one, but there are so many expansions that you would almost believe that there were a series of games from the Escapists, but there's so much content for you to get into, and it's a game that you'll really enjoy if you love Prison Architect, so you should check that out. And then thirdly and finally, I'm going to do a little bit of a wildcard entry, so to speak, and I'm going to not pick one particular type of game, but pick a genre or a subgenre within this simulation genre, which is very, very similar to Prison Architect, and that's the Tycoon genre. So you have games like Planet Coaster, Zoo Tycoon, 2 Point Hospital, 2 Point Campus. All of these games are very, very similar in what they try to do. Basically, they give you a real world scenario, kind of like Prison Architect. So you'll either be running a theme park, you'll be running a zoo, you'll be running a hospital, you'll be running a university, and basically what you're in charge of is creating the layout for this place, creating the different amenities and attractions, and trying to find the best way for it to make money and for it to function, all the while keeping the people that use this attraction happy. So if it was 2 Point Campus, which is probably the most recent of all the games, you would be running a university. You would have to make sure that you were attaining good grades on average from all of your students. You would need to make sure that the morale of the students was good, and you also need to make sure that your university is making enough money not only to function but to thrive and keep building upon its success with new and interesting things like new lessons and new courses and new statues in the campus or whatever it happens to be. Basically, it's a series of games that I don't really want to pin down to just one, because there are so many great examples of those. Planet Coaster is another exciting one. Zoo Tycoon, and again, it's a theme park tycoon, I believe, is another one. And they're all fantastic, and they stretch back into the 90s. They're a very, very old kind of genre of game, but they have got so much better over the course of the last decade or so. And what I would do, if you really, really love Prison Architect, I would seek out one or two of these and give them a try, because I think you would really, really enjoy those. So there you have it, guys. They are the 3 games, or at least the 3 type of games, that I believe that you should go and check out if you loved Prison Architect. If you love the level of control and the sandbox feel that Prison Architect provides, then you will love The Escapists, you will love The Sims, and you will love any of the Tycoon games that I mentioned. I hope that this expands your wish list and gets you excited to play another simulation game. I've been Callum, this has been Gamer Guide, and I will see you next time.